Yes, you are probably not overweight or obese, but so long as you continue to over rely on single diagnostic or screening tool, such as your body mass or BMI index, or the bathroom weight scale, then your BMI or your weight scale is probably telling you you are. Obesity, which is a measure of the excess calories or fat we have, is a complex disease. And using a single diagnostic tool, such as your body mass index, to confirm whether you're obese or overweight is flawed. What is body mass index or BMI? It's a ratio of your weight in pounds or kilograms over your height squared in meters squared or centimeters squared. Body mass index, BMI, was invented about 200 years ago. It was actually made for the population, for us to have an idea of our population health and weight. It was never customized for individuals. However, healthcare professionals, policymakers continue to use BMI because it is simple and cheap. That means you and I can put in our weight and height into the BMI calculator tool, and it gives us an idea of what our BMI or weight is. But the body mass index BMI has its limitations. For example, it doesn't take into consideration our age, sex, or muscle mass. For example, how do you compare a 5'6" woman who weighs about 180 pounds to a man of also 5'6" who weighs also 180 pounds? Their BMI will be the same. Their BMI will be around 29.1. However, it doesn't give a real assessment of both sexes, of both man and man with the same BMI. Having in mind that most men have more muscle mass. Also, if you're a bodybuilder or an athlete, or even an elderly person, if you put in your weight and height, your BMI probably might tell you you're overweight. Meanwhile, you probably have a normal weight. To therefore have a better idea of what your weight is, use a second diagnostic tool, such as your waist circumference measurement or your waist to hip ratio. And by doing so, get a tape. Okay? Get a tape measure. This you measure in inches, and it probably will give you a fair idea of, for example, if you have abdominal obesity, which might give you an indication, for example, whether you will have risk factors such as diabetes, hypertension. For example, if your waist circumference measurements, if you're a man, is giving you about 40 inches, that means you need to start working on your belly fat. If you're a woman who is not pregnant and having a waist measurement of about 35 inches, that means you also need to work on belly fat as well to reduce your chances of having risk factors such as diabetes or hypertension. However, I'm not stating that using your bathroom weight scale or your BMI is entirely wrong. However, I recommend that you get a tape measure for you to have a better idea of what your true weight is. Continue to watch our videos as we continue to provide more tidbits on health.